Hey friends, Shane here, and I want to go over a quick project with you that you can make and throw in your bug out bags and your camping gear, survival kits and all of that. Super easy and super cheap. I call it the super match. There's a lot of supers there. So it's real simple to make, as I said, and in the end product, you end up with something that's waterproof and will give you a long-lasting fire starter for very cheap. So what you need for this are some matches. Ideally, you want strike anywhere matches. However, I'm having a very hard time finding those nowadays, so I'm having to use for this video strike on the strike on the box matches. I'm gonna look online see if I can't find some strike anywhere matches. I'll talk about what you need to do differently. Obviously, you just need to have a striker with you, so we'll talk about that. So you need some matches, you need some cardboard, and you need some wax. What we do, this is just a small portion, but in my house, I have my wife save all of our Scentsy warmers, as well as any candle remnants. And we just kind of put those into things like this and store them away. And then I have a crock pot that I picked up at a Goodwill or somewhere. And I use it specifically for melting wax. I have another one for cheese wax as well. And so you just kind of melt them up and you've got wax for a number of things that you can utilize it for. In this case, we're going to use it to create a super match. So I have one already made for demonstration. I didn't want you to have to wait to watch it dry, but I'll run you through it real quick. You want to get some cardboard that fits the diameter of the matches you're going to use. I'll show you that in a minute. You're going to just kind of cut it into some slices. And I generally cut it about 1.5 to 2 inches wide, nothing big. And you want to then take your matches and you'll force them down in to the corrugated holes in the section there. That's why I say you want to make sure it's wide enough to facilitate that without ripping. Pretty simple. I'll generally like to take about 3 to 4 is what I'll normally make mine as. So you get them in there like this, and then you just take it, and you can't see this from there, but I'm just going to dip it kind of into the wax. And a lot of times I'll do a couple dips, try and fan it a little bit to let it kind of dry and coat some. Do another dip, fan a little bit, let it dry, and do another dip, fan a little bit. And so if you want, when they dry, sometimes I'll do this if I have this crock pot going with the wax already heated. When it dries, I'll come back and I might dip it again just to give you that extra. So that's giving you waterproof, but it's also giving you a longer burn when you do light these things. And just let it down, let it dry, and as you can see, the end product is quite small. They store well in little Ziploc bags. You can throw them in an Altoids can with some charcoal and some other things you might have in there. And then in the end, what you end up with is a super match. So this thing, as I said, strike anywhere is ideal, because with strike anywhere, I can go up against, you know, a rock or whatever it might be, and I can just start to strike. I don't have to worry about the wax. Strike on box, I have to use, you know, your little strikers that come on these match boxes. So with that said, I don't want to necessarily rub this wax all over my strikers, so I'll go ahead and kind of try and get it down a little bit off of here so that I'm not running up my striking surface too much on there. But I also don't want to chip away the ignition portion of the match. So I get it down, I get it to catch. And what this does, so now I've got, you know, there's like 4 matches burning here, but having it with this wax and this cardboard is going to give it a long, long burn. It's still not the same as, like, let's say one of your stormproof matches. And I don't have them out here, but I have stormproof matches, and you can make these with stormproof matches too. Since they're already somewhat waterproof, the wax coating would be kind of redundant maybe. You see how good of a flame this thing's going. Would be kind of redundant. But the nice thing about this is going to give you a long burn time. I'm not going to sit there and hold the video the entire time, but it's just melting wax right now. It's barely starting to even hit the cardboard. So with this strike this up, I throw it into that, you know, my fire tender or whatever, and I'm going to have a pretty successful shot at getting the wood to catch and have a good fire. So super cheap, easy thing to make. I call it the super match, and highly recommend them.